Hi guys, thank you for tuning into the True Mamas podcast. Today I have Mari with me. She is a content creator, influencer, a mama of course. I would like to welcome Mari.
Yes, Bree, thank you so much for inviting me. When I saw your message, I was so excited to join. You know, it's a lot of the same routine, so switching it up, coming to this beautiful studio and being able to speak with you is a great opportunity. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm glad to have you. We're gonna get right in. We have a few questions. We're just gonna chop it up and just have a discussion. Just tell us a little bit about your kiddos, their ages.
Yeah, so I am a mom of one. Her name is Hope, and she's turning 3 in about 2 weeks. So we're almost over the terrible 2 stage, even though I heard it lasts for a few years. She's just the light of my life. She brings so much joy to my household, and being a mom really changed a lot for me, but also brought a lot of goodness out of me too.
And then I also have a 3-year-old. His name is G2. And then Brooklyn, she's 5 months. Like you said, like it honestly brought a light out of me as well. Just gave me a different purpose in life, kind of felt like. How was your morning today? Was it hectic? How was it?
You know, this morning I feel like I was excited to do something new. So I woke up earlier than usual just to start getting ready, and it went really smoothly. So one thing they'll tell you about being a mom is scheduling and planning. I planned my outfit from yesterday. I scheduled my alarms and I was going to wake up, and everything went to plan. So it was good.
And
How about you?
That's the biggest thing, honestly, scheduling. I would definitely say, like, having a schedule, sticking to it, that's the biggest thing. But my morning was kind of smooth. My kids were with grandma and grandpa, so everything was good on that. I just had to get myself ready. I didn't have to worry about my kids or nothing like that. So that was pretty easy. What are some of the biggest challenges you face as a mom, you feel like?
Wow. It's the fact that there is no rule book to this. So figuring out what works for you as a mother and what works for your child as well. Every child is different. Every environment is different. And you cannot just pick up what someone else is doing and think that it'll completely work. So realizing that you're your own boss and you're running the ship and you got to make your own rules. And if it doesn't work, don't be afraid to pivot. So I feel like, especially when my daughter was younger, I would do the same things and not pivot quick enough. But now I'm learning as she's growing really fast, sometimes I need to switch this up and see if she likes it, see if it works for us.
Yeah, that's great. I would say that as well, just because I just feel like you said, there is no rule book. And I feel like you have to make a schedule, a system created around your kids to definitely kind of be able to understand your kids, you know?
Yes, and there's a balancing act with it all. I feel like being a mother of a 5-month-old, so when my daughter was 5 months versus now when she's 2 turning 3, I'm a totally different mother. It's a different role. It's different things that are required of you to be their mom at those stages. So you doing 2 at the same time, girl, God bless you. God bless you.
It is something else. How do you balance work and family life? Like, how do you balance it?
You know, it's definitely something I'm still working on, the balance, because there will truly never be an equal balance, especially the fact that I do run a business. But I feel like being able to run my business completely from home has helped me with the balancing act of it all. And then leaning on my community, leaning on the people that are around me to help out.
Definitely.
And also reaching out when I need help. So whether it's putting her in the
school,
it's hard. It's hard to ask for help.
That's hard.
It's hard. That's probably the first thing you need to get over if you want to find any balance, is asking for help and leaning on the support that you do have.
For sure. And having a nanny, having grandparents, like just having everybody on a schedule, because I just feel like if you don't have like the help, I just feel like everything can just like go crazy really, really fast. So quick. I just feel like the easiest way to like just balance being a mom is like having, like I know for a fact my mom's gonna help me on this day, so then I can go get this done for myself. I know my nanny will come in and do this for the kids. I know that I can get out and go to my dentist appointment and things like that. So I feel like that's really important, honestly. What are some of your favorite things about being a mom? Like, what would you say?
Wow, so waking up and her calling my name out. So, mama. The first thing I see when I open my eyes is her mama. So it's just every day she's showing me more of her personality and discovering it, and her learning me, because I feel like from like age 1 to 2, all you are to them is comfort and food. But now they want to play with you. Now they want to talk with you and engage with you. So learning their personalities as unique as they are, that's been my favorite thing.
Yeah, I would have to say Honestly, energy. I know some moms are like, I get drained sometimes, but like just the energy and the drive that I get to get moving now that I've had kids, because before I had kids, I kind of like didn't know what to do, like as in like how to start my day, how to get up and move. But with a kid, is like you're forced to like,
no choice.
Yeah, you have to get up, you gotta get things done and stuff. So I would say like the favorite thing that like kind of being a mom would just, for me, would be like kind of being forced into like a lifestyle that I didn't think I need, but like I needed. Like they kind of forced me into like a healthy structure and a healthy like lifestyle. So I would definitely say that's my favorite thing, because I had it a little bit, but when you have kids, like these are human beings that need to socialize, that need to be out and moving and stuff.
Going to the park, going on walks. It's like every single day. It doesn't end.
What parenting advice would you give your younger self?
Wow. Give yourself grace. Yeah. I feel like there is a whole world of comparison out there, because you get thrown all these things of what you should do from your elders, maybe from friends, from people who might think that they know what you're going through, but only you know what you're going through, and only you know what you're able to pour in at that time. So giving yourself grace through every step, every stage. I was hard on myself. I was very hard on myself. I definitely struggled with postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, and I was aware of the fact that I was struggling, but I was also not giving myself the grace I needed. So looking back, I feel like a lot of things I dealt with, I didn't have to be as hard on myself dealing with those things.
Right. Just have a routine, have a schedule at the beginning, because I didn't get a schedule until my son was like 1 year old. Like I thought I had a schedule, but when I look back, that wasn't a schedule. And I realized that, like you said, like I kind of was going through it as well. Like it was just like, it was kind of, I didn't understand it. Like I was just so like, I just felt like I was just so depleted, and just like, I just couldn't get over the hump. And I realized, looking back, I never had like a set time where, okay, from 12 to 3, that's his nap time. You're gonna for sure have those 3 hours to do something that you need to do. And I never had that. Like I didn't do that until he was 1 year old. And then once I kind of clicked over to that, everything changed. It was like everything was like running smoothly. Nighttime is like a bedtime, and that whole schedule, that's like something I live by. Like bath time 7, like we're eating
law.
It
is law.
We're eating at 6:30, bath time's at 7, and in bed by 7:30. And like that's just, and they need it as well. Like they need that structure, because they like know what comes after eating, what comes after bathing.
They get used to it.
Yeah, so it's like a comfort thing for them as well. And like now my son's been sleeping in his own room since 1, and he's just like really comfortable. Like he'll just lay in his bed,
pull his own blanket up.
Right,
like,
bye,
bye,
mama. See you in the morning. Like, and I love that. But definitely say that routine. How do you handle difficult situations with your kids? So I would say like tantrums in public,
little bodies, big emotions for sure.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a child that's not afraid of showing how they feel, it's a whole lot of patience. And then also understanding that they're not doing this to upset you. They just don't know how to express what they're feeling.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of patience, a lot of breathing exercises on the mama's end. And then also, I feel like you showing your child that patience helps them realize, like, I don't need to be screaming right now.
Exactly.
One time my daughter was having a tantrum, and I let her have her tantrum, and I sat really calmly, and I said, when you're ready, you can come give me a hug. And then she looked up at me, and she was like, walked over, gave me a hug. And I think we're what they mirror, and then we're their first teacher on how they should be responding and reacting. So the more calm you are, as hard as it can be, don't get me started on the grocery store when you see some fruits. But
definitely. And I totally agree with that, because staying calm is like the biggest thing. Like honestly, when they are having tantrums, just being able to be mature enough to like understand this is literally a 2 or 3 year old child. Like they have literally only been here for like 2 or 3 years old. Like that's literally 2 or 3 years old.
Maturity.
So 2 or 3 years. So it's like that's kind of what I have to like tell myself, honestly, and just kind of being able to, okay, they're not doing, like you said, they're not doing this. This is something they have to go through. They have to be able to express themselves.
And sometimes they're just craving that interaction too.
Yeah.
They might be feeling like, oh, mommy's doing her groceries, she's not paying attention to me, I want some attention. And the negative attention to them still is attention. So it could just be them craving that too.
And then just like redirecting, positive redirection. And just honestly just working with them, because my son, he is something else. Like he is like, I don't even know what to say. He's kind of like a hard, like he's hard to crack, like when he's in that mode, and it's like, no, I'm not listening to anybody. Like I'm mad, but I've like learned this new thing. It's so weird, but it's like breathe in like an apple, breathe out like a banana. It's like so funny and so weird, and
it probably catches him off guard.
And he's like, wait,
what are you talking about?
And like I'll see him kind of like start grinning as he was like, he's kind of coming out of his like tantrum and things like that, and he'll start like doing like the breathing exercises with me. And it's like, that's kind of, I just try to like, you know, pull something funny, put something funny into the situation, and that's how I literally click him out of it every time, honestly. Positive redirection, and just, you know, don't get mad, you know?
It's harder to do it than just saying it, because when you're in the moment, you might be doing 3 different things. Your child doesn't know what's going on with you. And you're like, okay, I need to take this moment to focus on your feelings right now. And that balance of happiness and then positive redirection, like you said, will really change the whole environment for them.
For sure. What was it like to become a mom for the very first time?
Wow. I was in my last year of college, so I was 21. I was young. I felt like I was a teen mom, almost. I was young, and I felt really nervous and unprepared, because there's nothing that can really prepare you for motherhood. But going through the process of pregnancy, and I had a high-risk pregnancy, but also being in school, I was studying public health, and my senior project, my capstone, was Black maternal health. So going through a high-risk pregnancy while studying about high-risk pregnancies and Black women specifically was a lot for me, but it did prepare me for all that was to come in those early stages of postpartum. I was aware of everything I was experiencing. So it gave me like a level of confidence. Like I was going through it, and then also in school forced to research on it. Well, I loved what I did, so not forced, but to complete my project, I had to do additional research on it. So I feel like I was in an interesting space with that.
That was honestly, like, I've never heard someone say that they were studying something like that while they were pregnant. Because as for me, I was literally like so uneducated. Like I was so uneducated with like just the whole, like just being pregnant as a whole, like the things that, like how it affects your body after, like after I was done being pregnant, like my stomach like was really, really black. Like it was really, really black. And I didn't know, like I was like, what is this? Like what's going on? And like nobody told me, like the doctors, nobody told me anything. So like it was just so much stuff that like I didn't know about, that I was like, what is going on with me?
That you feel like people should tell you, and then you're going through it, right? Or somebody around you. But then it's like every mother goes through something different, but most mothers go through the similar changes with the body. Like everyone's body will change in a different way, but everyone's changing. And I feel like people can't warn you because it's different for everybody. What I went through might be different from what someone else will go through. Even if it's your mother versus you, it might be completely different. So it's more like brace up. Because we don't know what's coming.
That's really what it was. My stomach is completely like, you know, darker, like a lot darker. And I just didn't know, like, is my skin okay right here? Like, you know, so I didn't understand. But when I did research, it was like so many moms, like this happens. This was like, this is a normal thing. And then I asked my mom, she was like, yeah, that happened to me. It'll go back. Yeah, you'll be go back in a few months. It'll go back in a few months. I'm like, oh, okay.
Snapback culture too. I feel like it can be toxic to especially young moms. I remember being 22, just gave birth, and I was looking at my body, and I just wasn't happy with what I saw, and I'm holding my baby, and it was almost, this was when I realized I had postpartum depression. I almost had a hard time being happy in motherhood while looking at myself and being confused with what I saw in the mirror. What I saw in the mirror wasn't what I remembered from being an athlete in college to being an athlete basically all my life, and then looking in the mirror like, who's this? It's like a reintroduction to you, because it's your first time seeing yourself as a mother, as a first-time mom, or as a second-time mom. It's your first time in this space. So it was weird.
And I feel like as moms, because I'm guilty of this as well, it's like, we're so quick to let me show you how skinny I am again. You know, let me show you how flat my stomach is, and it's like, why?
What
like,
is it about?
Right? Why does that matter?
My baby loves love
right.
laying on my belly,
right,
nice and comfortable,
right,
like
a nice little pillow. And then my next child, I knew all of the things that I needed to know. But I would say my second pregnancy probably was like a little worse, but my delivery was so much better the second time around because I had more knowledge. Like I was
advocate for yourself too, for what you need.
I was like, no, I need this, I need this, I need this, and it was just like if all pregnancies are like that,
I'll do it again.
Right, I'll do it again and again and again because it was just so peaceful. It's like this is how like birth should be. Like this is how birth should be. Like my first birth was like, oh my gosh, like it was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna die. Like how was yours?
It's traumatic. Mine was definitely traumatic. I remember going in, I was induced. So I knew the day that I was gonna go in. And I feel like that doesn't give you any more peace. I was like counting down the days, like, okay, we having this baby in 7 days and 6 days. And the day that I went in, I was in labor for about 24 hours because the induction was going really slow. And even like hearing the story back, because you know when they put them drugs in you, you don't remember everything, but hearing the story back, I'm like, wow, I was really going through it in that moment. Had an emergency C-section when my daughter's heart rate started dropping, and they didn't let anyone in the room. I was so scared. I was crying. And after she was born, I didn't see her like again until maybe 2 hours later after they sewed me up, and I felt so out of it. I feel like the nurses were great. Honestly, the nurses really spoke through everything I was going through. But if I was able to know before going into labor that this was a true possibility, I would have felt a lot more comfortable. But I didn't realize things can go south that quickly.
Like that's definitely how it was with me as well. I know I was getting induced. If I had to do it again, when I did it again, I didn't like get induced or anything. I just let it happen naturally, like because they didn't warn me like what Pitocin does to you. And I was like, I felt like I was like literally like in hell. Like I felt like I was literally like dying, and it was like nobody could like really save me because it's like once you get on the Pitocin, you got to go through it. Like
the contractions. And they didn't give me the Pitocin because if they gave me the Pitocin, my daughter's heart rate was dropping. Without it, they're like, yeah, she might not have made it. She might not have made it through the delivery. So crazy. It took a nurse that came on shift. So they switched the shift that was like, wait, we can't give her this yet, to catch that in that moment. So thank God for nurses.
Thank God for the nurses. Thank you. I got induced, had to go through the did the Pitocin, all of that stuff, would never do it again. Then the contractions, everything was just getting worse and worse. And I don't know why I was saying that I didn't want the epidural, but I think it was because like I was watching so many like TikTok videos, do it natural. So like I was just trying to follow someone else's story or someone else's lead and not like listening to myself. And so I was like, I think I was like 5 centimeters, and I was just in like so much pain. I was like, I gotta get this epidural now. So I couldn't even really sit for the epidural. Like it was just so much going on. And then they put it in my back, and then I instantly felt relief. But then like after like 1 minute of having the epidural in, baby's heart rate is dropping, and they all started rushing in.
You saw like the 12 nurses come
they
in.
Came
that
in.
is real.
I was like, what's happening?
Where'd y'all all come from?
The thing is, I was on the epidural, so I wish I could have been more serious. And my mom was finally like at peace. Like I was out of it. Like I was literally out of it. So like I wasn't like able to like, you know, like really pay attention to how dangerous the situation was. So they're like, no, you need to turn over now. Like, and I couldn't really turn over. I'm on epidural. Like I'm numb. Like I can't really turn.
I don't feel anything.
Right. So I'm just kind of like laying to the side, and they came in like ready to like really do a C-section. And then they opened my legs to try to see like where the baby was at, and then the baby head was like right there. So they were like, let's go, you're gonna have a baby. And then the nurse was like, okay, like what was that? They never told me that was what was gonna happen, but
that was for you.
That was what was going to happen, because they was saying like my baby's heart rate was dropping and things like that. But then I pushed him out, and then after like all of the medication I took, my baby came out so like sleepy and tired. Like he was just like so druggy. Like so drugged up, and he was just so tired. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. But like you said, like before, you were out of it, I was out of it. Like I couldn't understand.
I was like, weird space. And then you're holding your baby. I had her at 11, so I was probably like wasn't until maybe 1 a.m., 2 a.m. that I'm holding her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm itchy from all these
Right.
drugs that they put up in me. And then they asked me, like, oh, do you want us to take her? You know, they'll take them to the nursery, but something told me, like, no, I want to hold her.
Right.
But I should have just let them take her so I could have rested.
Yeah.
That was the last night I got sleep, the night before I gave birth.
Oh my gosh, girl, when I got home, OMG, when I got home, I literally, like, the first night, I literally set up at like 2 a.m. in the morning and I was just crying.
Me too.
I was like, this is my new life.
Me too.
But it was like, it wasn't like this is my new life, like I didn't want it, but I was like, I was so, yeah, and I was so uneducated, like I didn't understand, like everything changes, it's not about you anymore. And I was just like crying, and then of course I got over it, but like it was just like a different realization. It was like, this is crazy.
Postpartum is real.
Yeah.
Like the men in their lives, like your husband, your partner, they need to be aware of the signs of postpartum.
And they need to take it serious.
Yeah. It's not a joke. It's not a buzzword. It's a real thing that women go through. And some women don't make it out of. So postpartum.
No, seriously. My second baby, she was good to go. As soon as I got in the hospital, I was like, I need my epidural. And I got my epidural, and I was only in labor, I would say maybe like, I was in labor before I went to the hospital. When I was at the house, I was kind of like having contractions and things, and I was like, okay, I got to go to the hospital. But when I was in the hospital, I was only there for like 3 to 5 hours, like actually in labor there. But I got the epidural and I was just chilling the whole time. And they're like, okay, you're gonna have a baby. I pushed and it was so comfortable.
Wow.
I was chilling. I was like, this is how I want to do it every time. But I was more informed, because the first time I was like, I don't want to do epidural. I want to try to go natural, but I'm already not going natural if I'm getting Pitocin. So I didn't understand that. Like, it was just,
everything is gonna work differently for everyone. So I feel like, honestly, you having 2 totally different experiences and people being able to hear both can help people make the decision that's best for them, because everyone has different, it's not even about pain tolerance. Sometimes it's body composition, how wide your hips, like these things really do matter when it comes to giving birth. So just do what's best for you always.
Definitely. What are some of the most memorable moments you've had as a mom, you would say?
So it's not like necessarily a cute memory, but I remember my baby's first blowout in her car seat.
Oh no.
And I was so taken aback because I just changed her in the store. I changed her before we left the house in the store. Then we got home and I'm picking her up out the car seat, blowout. And I said, wow.
Maybe she's in that phase right now. She's having her little blowouts and things like that. It is coming up everywhere. And it's just like, are you okay? Like,
what's going on? Let's talk.
Let's
check in.
Right. One thing you wish someone had told you becoming a mom, I think we kind of touched on this a little bit. And how do you think it would have changed you in your earlier parenting time?
One thing I wish someone told me is that they grow really fast.
Yeah.
They grow so fast. And I feel like I was told that, but you hear it, you're like, yeah, but you don't know what I'm going through every day with this child, with this 2-month-old or this, 6-month-old. And looking back, I would have taken those moments in a lot more. And I feel like most parents say that. Like, I would have taken the moments in, but they grow so fast. And you got to take a lot of pictures and videos to remember each stage, because when they start talking, that's one thing. When they start talking and, they mess up words at first, then they start saying the words right. And it's like, no, what you mean? Strawberry. Where did strawberry, like, we used to say that differently. But the growth happens like in a blink of an eye.
Because it's like, how are you already 3? You know, like your baby is about to be 3 and
you were
like,
just born. You were just in my belly.
You were just born, and like that is wild. Like, you're gonna be going to school. Like you're gonna have to go to school now. Like I literally remember like just the days after like I gave birth for each. I feel like those were like just the most craziest, like it was like just so many emotions. Like for my son, it was like so many heavy emotions because it was like because that was my first child. But for my daughter, it was kind of like, I'm so happy my family is complete. I'm still like trying to get over, but I was like just so ready to like, I knew what it like how it was, so I was ready to like get going, get moving again and stuff like that. So I would definitely say like the days following after like I had my pregnancies, honestly, because like I literally, those stick with me, and then you just forget like, wow, like that, like you said, it goes by so fast. Like my baby is already 5 months and I feel like I just had her, and it's like, you were just so small, barely
she
could
was
even
like a winter baby.
Yeah, December 15.
right before Christmas. Your little
so it was
gift.
perfect. Yes. So I was able to be comfortable during Christmas. Yes. So that was perfect for me. What does balance mean to you, and do you think it's possible?
So mixed feelings on balance. Balance to me means that at the end of the day, I can sit down and find some peace. Right. It's not that everything on the to-do list is done, but find some peace, inner peace. Is it possible? Yes. But there's so many tools that I feel like I started implementing to help it be possible, not overloading myself, because I'm definitely somewhat of an overachiever when it comes to what I think I can get done in a day. Sometimes it might just be groceries, park time, and cooking dinner, and that's a full day.
That's a day.
Versus doing everything that you want to do in your business, working towards your goals and personal care. You might not get all that done. So really finding peace at the end of the day, being able to lay down and say thank God for another day. And that's the balance to me.
Amen. But I would definitely say that as well. But for me, balance, I just keep going back to this, like just having a schedule and just sticking by it. And honestly, I don't know, like balance to me, it's like you said, like you want to have your business stuff going on. You want to have, you got to make sure your kids are good. Like make an effort to lay everything out and make sure it kind of gets done. I would say, I don't know, that's just what I would say balance really
I feel
is.
Like being a mom, you have to be like a project manager. Like everything, you might not get it done the next day, but taking a step towards each goal. So you want to do this for your child, or you want to do this for yourself. You're not going to get it all done in one day, but you might start your hair today, finish it tomorrow.
Right. Have you ever struggled with mom guilt, and what has helped you get through it if you have?
Yes, I did struggle with mom guilt a lot. And it was something as simple as going to get my hair done or going to get my nails done. But I started realizing that when I spend time with myself, spend time caring for myself, I show up as an even better mom.
Yeah.
There was a time that I wasn't getting my hair done, I wasn't booking appointments, or I'll try to do it myself, which is hard with the child.
Yeah.
You don't get time. But taking that 1 hour, 2 hours out my day to go get serviced, go sit in someone's chair, talk to another adult, talk to another woman is so major in your mental health and your personal growth.
For sure.
It's therapy.
Yes.
Book that appointment. It's
I would
different.
That.
So I wish I started that sooner, but that was one adjustment I made that felt like mom guilt at first, but helped me show up as a better mom.
I would definitely say I definitely have felt mom guilt before, but something that for some reason make me feel like a little bit better about like leaving my kids and being away from my kids, knowing that they have things going on as well. Like whoever I'm leaving them with, like having them on a, I always say schedule, but having them on a schedule with them, like, hey, at this time they need to go to the park. At this time they need to be doing arts and crafts and things like that, because it makes me happy because I can look at my phone. Okay, I know they're doing arts and crafts. I know they're at the park having fun versus, oh, I'm just getting out the house and leaving, and then it's like, oh, whatever, like you're just at the house by yourself, you know, not by yourself, but you're just at the house kind of not having anything going on for your days. So I think that's honestly something that kind of helps me get over it, knowing that I have like a schedule for my kids. It's one hack or trick that has seriously saved your sanity as a mom, you would say?
A hack, a mom hack. I think that my daughter loves doing everything I like to do, and I love to cook. So the one thing that I realized she was doing was taking all of my utensils, all of my seasonings. So I had to get her own kitchen. Right. And I put the kitchen in my kitchen. So as I'm cooking, she'll go in her mini kitchen, she'll cook too. And that saved a lot of mess. That saved a lot of cleanup. She enjoys it. She thinks that she's doing what I'm doing, and we have fun with that.
That's great. I love it. I love it. I would say one trick that has literally saved my sanity would be, don't take the tantrums personal. Yes. Like, don't take them personal. They're not doing it to make you miserable, honestly. So I literally just have to like put on a mask when the tantrum is happening and just kind of
not internalize it.
Yeah, not internalize it, and like stay mature through the whole situation, and they'll come out of it and they'll be okay. Like I said, the breathe in apple, breathe out banana. Yes. I do that with him, my son. But I would definitely say, don't take the tantrums personal, for sure. You could give one piece of advice to a new mom listening in right now. What would it be?
I would say it all gets better, depending on what you're going through, what stage you're in right now. You can be happy as a mother, you can be sad as a mother, going through all these different emotions, but it all gets better as your child grows. So whatever you're feeling, understand that your child's only gonna grow. They're only gonna get more mature, they're gonna get smarter, and cherish every moment with them. I feel like in my postpartum, there was a time where I wasn't cherishing certain moments, and looking back, that's my biggest regret. So regardless of how you feel, take those pictures, journal. Journaling definitely helped me. Writing down what I was feeling, writing down what my child was doing, their milestones, and look back on that as growth, because whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through is not the end. This is just a stage that we're in.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the True Mamas podcast. I want to thank Mari for coming.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And we'll see you guys next time.